Welcome to Exploring the Vines. I'm Randy Aspinall.
Hi, I'm Mike Benoit.
Mike, anything interesting you see today as far as the vineyards are concerned?
Well, obviously, I'm looking around here. I'm going, where are the vineyards? So what do you have in store for us today?
Today we're going to go to a brewery, one of the newest breweries in Sacramento. I've been here since 2013. This is called Device Brewing.
Okay.
And we're going to go in and check it out and maybe learn a few things today, too, as far as brewing's concerned.
That sounds great. Let's go in.
So we're in the tasting room with Bill and Billy and
Nora. Yeah.
Hi, Nora. How are you? Nora's got her truck, so we're all good. So I want to hear a little bit about, you're here at Device Brewing. I want to hear a little bit about why you're here and what it is about Device that draws you in.
Well, first of all, they have amazing beer. In my opinion, the best beer in Sacramento. But also, I've known Ken, the owner here, since before they opened up. And we became good friends through our kids, actually. And he's a great guy, and I wouldn't mind supporting anybody better than him, especially with the beer being at such high quality. And he's also, we've worked a lot together with my business. I'm a dentist as well, so I do a lot of dentistry for a lot of the brewers around here because they're all independent contractors and stuff. So
the dentist to the brewers right here in Sacramento. And so, Bill, did you just get drug in with Bill?
Actually, I was never a beer drinker until my son started getting involved into beers, and then he makes his brews his own, which is really good. And then we started going to pubs, and now I'm actually loving drinking beer now, whereas before I wasn't.
Ideas, you come here and you're going to stay for a while. You always have things to do. People come in and out, people that you see in the community, and the kids love to play their games. The dogs all hang out. It's really, one of the best things to do on the weekend, in my opinion, to hang out in one of these Sacramento breweries.
So we're here at Device Brewing with Ken Anthony. And Ken is the owner and the brewer here at Device Brewing, and we wanted to find out a little bit about how you got started, Ken.
Home brewing, actually. I went to college at UC San Diego and definitely was able to visit a lot of really good craft breweries. Some of the forerunners down there, the Pizza Ports and Alpine and Alesmith, Green Flash, Ballast Point, a lot of these guys, Stone. And Ballast Point at the time, I think they still do, had Homebrew Mart, which was outstanding homebrew supply. I used to go there a lot, pick people's brains, try different beers, try to brew them, and I had a couple buddies down there I brewed with, and we were pretty serious about it, and in fact had thought about doing this in San Diego, but we never really pulled it together during my time down in San Diego. I was down there almost 8 years.
So you were at school there and you graduated, got your master's in?
A master's and a bachelor's in structural engineering.
Wow. So you're an engineer?
Yes.
All right. We meet a lot of people like that have advanced educations, very smart, educated people who somehow get into beer or into wine anyway. So what brought you back then here to Sacramento?
Well, after my first child was born, about 4 years ago, my wife and I wanted to be closer to family again, and we're both Northern California natives. And so I was working for a big engineering firm at the time who also had a Sacramento office. So we were able to move, reasonably close to our family. It was a lot closer than San Diego was, and I didn't have to go job hunting to relocate. It was really just getting approvals and transferring offices.
But this is now your full-time job.
Yes, yeah, it has been since 2013.
Yeah, that was my question for you, was like, how long have you been here actually brewing beer in this establishment itself? How long have you been here for?
We've been here 3 years in April.
Okay.
So 2013 in April. We started brewing in, I believe, June or July is when we actually got the licensing to get the green light to start brewing.
Okay. And about how many barrels are you producing a year? What's the?
2015 is right around 750 barrels.
Okay.
2016 we are targeting about 14 to 1,500 barrels.
Okay.
Wow. So you're doubling your production.
Yes.
In this facility.
Yes.
Okay. And where are you at a crossroads right now where you're thinking, well, I can go larger than this, or I want to stay right where I'm at?
That's a great question. So we started with the suite next door where the tap room is.
Right.
We had everything over there, so it was very tight. Then we acquired this space about a year and a half ago. And then we've recently acquired another 3,500 square feet right across the parking lot. And we were working on acquiring the next suite over from us here to expand our tank space. But we don't need any more tanks than we have right now to do 1,500 barrels. Right now, with 4 7-barrel fermenters and 2 30s, we can brew an average of 28 barrels a week, and that'll get us right at about 1,456 barrels.
And distribution, what do you have as far as distribution here locally?
Yeah, well, we have a truck, a branded brewery truck that we take out for all our case deliveries, keg deliveries. We are being, approached by most of the major distributors in the area to sign with them. And while it's certainly something we'll have to do eventually, we're not reaching for the pen just yet.
Okay. And real quick, device. Where did device come from? Where does the name origin comes from? What's the...
Sure. The definition that I like is a plan or scheme for effecting a purpose. And so, my device for getting into a position where I could be my own employer, beer was my device, and it was my method.
Well, very good. Very
Excellent.
good. Very good.
Excellent.
I know you've touched a little bit about that, but you went to school down there, and how long were you down in San Diego?
Almost 8 years.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I wasn't in school the whole 8 years, even though I did do a master's.
So you were surfing down there? What were you doing? A little bit of everything? Or?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Enjoying the weather, enjoying the beach. We lived in La Jolla because I went to UC San Diego, so that was really nice. We miss it, but after our child was born and my wife decided to stay home, Northern California was a little bit more feasible on an engineer's salary.
I like the fact that there are a lot of guys who have started off and have come out, branched out, and headed up to Northern California. It's perfect. We only have so much room down in San Diego, and it's nice that you can let other people enjoy your beer up here. It's great. I think it's great.
So, Ken, what would it be that you'd like to convey, the message you'd like to convey to people about your business, Device Brewing?
Well, we're a family business, 100% owned by myself as a single member LLC with my wife as my partner. And, we think of our customers as our family members because our customers are the ones who helped us get to where we are now and are taking us to what the future has for us. So, we really like the community and the culture that we've established here. And we didn't get into this to get rich. We got into this because we love beer and we wanted to work for ourselves. So beer to us isn't a cash crop. Beer to us is the thing we're most passionate about.
That's wonderful.
And the variety of beers that you have on tap in here, is there any way we could maybe try one or two?
Yeah, would you guys like to try some beers?
Actually, we'd love to.
Let's do that.
Okay.
That's Mike's favorite part.
That's my favorite part. All right. All right. Hey, Ken, here. So now we're in the tasting room. So what exactly do you have for us right here?
Well, I've got a little lineup here of some light to dark. We have our nose grind pale ale, our best-selling beer, which is our Integral IPA. We've got a seasonal here, which is our Glasgow Half Full, which is a Scotch ale or a wee heavy. And we've got Brits in Moscow, which is our Russian Imperial Stout.
Okay.
I would start with the pale ale and work your way down.
All right.
Let's give it a shot.
So for the pale ale, this is a very traditional Northern California, almost Chico style pale ale. Very balanced beer, not too heavy on the hops, medium crystal, very nice, well balanced beer.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Kind of a little toastiness, a little brown.
That's your crystal malts. We use about a 40 Levy Bond crystal malt in there.
And what's the alcohol percentage in this?
Sure. So on the pale ale, it's 5.5%, 7% on the IPA, 7% on the wee heavy, and 9.5% on the Russian Imperial Stout.
Wow.
All right. So this is
Integral IPA. This one's going to be more hop forward, traditional West Coast style IPA. We've got some of the hot hops in there right now. We've got the Simcoe and Mosaic hops in there, as well as some classic favorites.
And I love the fact you have patrons throughout this area here who feel comfortable. They can bring their children, bring their dogs, and that's great because that's very important. You know, that they feel welcome to come in, and that's very nice. That's what you heard in the background, obviously. So
we also met people with their kids who come on a weekly basis practically, and they all play games. Lots of people playing games. They're not here to watch it's not like a sports bar where they're here to watch the sports. They're actually here to enjoy themselves and have a conversation. I know I was looking around. I hardly saw a person looking at their phone. They were all looking at each other and having a conversation. Well, I think it's important.
Right, and I just noticed too that out here you have a food truck that pulled up, which is real important for people to be able to eat, obviously, when they're having their beers and stuff, right?
Yeah, we like to partner with the food trucks. It's a great opportunity for them to have a place to have a group of customers at their disposal, available to them. And then for us, like you mentioned, we want our customers to be able to be as comfortable as possible. And if that includes having something to snack on or even coming in for a meal, that's great.
Perfect. Great idea.
So what's our number 3?
So this is a Glasgow Half Full. This is a Scotch ale. And this one's going to be very malt forward. This is not going to be featuring hops. There's Goldings. Yeah. We have Kent Goldings hops in there. We're using Maris Otter as our base malt, a UK, so it's 100% UK malts, Scottish ale yeast, and UK hops.
That's very nice too. Now I noticed on the board you actually have a recipe from your grandmother. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's actually my great grandmother. My mother's grandmother used to brew beer in her basement, and she did that for years. And if she were alive now, I think she'd be very happy.
She'd be very proud of you. There's no question about that. Now, have you actually tried that recipe at all, or no? Is it something that's?
It's a bit antiquated. Yeah. It's great to know that she was doing that.
That is nice. Very nice.
I know she didn't wait long. It was only a week, and then another week, and then boom, you're ready to drink.
Absolutely. It probably wasn't the best beer.
Was your great grandmother here in California, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're in Southern California.
All right. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a really nice piece.
That is very nice. So we have one more left, right?
Mm-hmm. This is Brits in Moscow, Russian Imperial Stout. We do brew it year-round. We also have this one in bottles in grocery stores. We have the Integral IPA as well as our Anguish Double IPA, which happens to be sold out at the moment. This one's really nice. You're going to get a lot of chocolate, a lot of coffee notes, roasted character, toasted malts, aromatic malts. We've got rye in there, wheat, lots of good stuff in there.
This is the 9%, correct?
Yeah, 9.5%, and we've also got 7 barrels of that aging in Heaven Hill bourbon barrels as we speak.
It's really smooth, very, very smooth. I can notice how nice that is.
That's becoming a big thing now, though. The barrel aging.
Right?
Yes, indeed it is. There's a lot of logistical considerations with that. Number one being square footage. Just allocating that kind of square footage to let beer just sit for 6 to 9 months or longer. The barrel stock is very expensive and hard to come by. So definitely get delayed return on investment. And spoilage is a very big concern. Usually you have to factor you're going to lose 20 to 30% to spoilage. Yeah, just because of the nature you're throwing it in an oak barrel. And not keeping it in stainless steel where you can really control a lot of the variables. But we're slowly venturing into that, and we're very aware that the consumer wants sour beers, they want barrel-aged beers, they want whiskey barrel-aged beers. We understand this, so we're slowly stepping forward into that arena as well.
Is it? Because I imagine you can only get a certain amount of times that you can use that barrel, and then you've got to get rid of the barrel. Is that right?
Yeah, and whiskey's the worst. You really get one shot on a whiskey barrel. You can put a second batch into a dumped whiskey barrel, but typically your first batch is going to be the one that's going to give you the most whiskey character. White wine barrels and red wine barrels you can use 4 to 6 times, sometimes 7 times before you have to make them a table.
Well, and with the limited space, it becomes you're walking around them the whole time, I imagine. So, well, that's great. Well, I'll tell you what, Ken, we have been very impressed with the whole operation. I mean, what you've been able to get out of this space and obviously now your expanded spaces is amazing. And the customers that we visited with and the clientele, they just love you. They just think this is a great place to be. And whenever we brought it up that we were going to be here, I think was the biggest response we received on social media was that people wanted us to come here. And so that's a big thing. You have a lot of fans out there in Sacramento. So don't think about going to San Diego again. You know.
Listen, we can't thank you enough for your hospitality, and we hope to see you again.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for coming by today. It was a pleasure.
Well, we
got
enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
Anytime.
And that will do it for this episode of Exploring the Vines. We will see you next time, maybe in a vineyard, maybe in a brewery. I'm not really sure, but I'm Randy Aspinall,
I'm Mike Benoit.
and we'll see you in the tasting room.
Cheers. Perfect, brother.
All right.
Thanks, man. Thank you, brother.
Thanks,
man.